Good evening, everyone. We are back with a new tabletop RPG played through, basically through Discord. With me tonight, as you can see, is a bunch of people. Some of them you may recognize, some of them you may not. But we are here to play an adaptation of the Dragon Age RPG in the true Penance RPG crazy style. I'm Nikolai, I'm the DM. I would put myself at the bottom, but I can't work out how Discord works, so I'm done playing with it. Just fucking try it first time, I'll fix it for next week. So, anyway, let's go around. So, we'll start with my left, which is Rowan.
I'm Rowan. I am playing Juniper, a hood-wearing nameless thing. We'll leave it at that.
That's completely fine. That's exactly what I wrote for your character when I got the description. And then we have Amy.
Hello, I'm Amy. You all know me from Curse, Plummet, 21 to 15. I'm playing Ruth Yosef, who is a Dalish elf. He's a mage, he's a healer. He's a very grumpy healer. And he's found himself with this group of people because, well, he's an elf and he's just been shoved in.
All right, we'll go this way now to Mr. Eden.
Hello, I'm Eden. You might have heard me on another Penance stream where we've been travelling the circle. That's on Mondays. But otherwise, you can catch me on Pretending with Dice, playing a variety of slightly wienery characters, as is my way. I am playing Wraith, who is probably not going to be a wiener. He is a Tevinter mage,
Okay.
and he may or may not have been... Well, he's been pulled in for blood magic, but whether or not he's done that, we'll have to see.
All right. Next down there is... That way, is back. Oh, you're muted still.
I shouldn't be.
There we go. Can hear you now.
Okay. I'm Becky. I'm playing Tristan, and he's Orlesian, and he was a Chevalier, but after accidentally killing a kid, he decided to go join the Grey Wardens because he couldn't handle the guilt, and he was tired of playing the Orlesian game. So he started out as a Grey Warden fighting in this blight and fled the battlefield, so the other Grey Wardens are kind of pissed at him right now because he fled. So he's in a little hot water.
All right, then directly below me is Mr. Tom.
Hello. I am playing Grem, a human, like 6 foot lots, and a beefcake. So pretty much exactly opposite to me, thinking about it. Anyway, he's here, been imprisoned for a variety of minor crimes that sort of taken together mean that he's in some hot water.
All right, and right at the bottom down there is Shiraz.
Hey everybody, I'm Shiraz. I am playing Vincenzo Cabage, and whatever happened in that shop wasn't my fault. Just everyone ganged up on me, and the next thing I know, I'm in this cart with these guys.
All right, so the backstory for this is that it's an alternative timeline from Dragon Age. We are taking it from basically the end of Origins, that the Archdemon won rather than being defeated. Ferelden basically fell, and everyone had to flee from it, and Ferelden is now a sort of walled off darkspawn pit. Let's put it that. So we are playing a group of people who have been brought together because there was an exalted march to go and free Ferelden. It failed quite badly. If you'd like to know more, there's episode 0 on the podcast somewhere. But the second exalted march is being led by Grey Wardens because their Legion army decided to go and get Grey Wardens to make sure that they'd lead it this time. So basically they have been told that they need to recruit new people into the Grey Wardens, and they basically have also been told that they will bring prisoners from everywhere else in Thedas and have them approved to basically be joined. So these people have all been arrested for relatively weird crimes because if they look like a good example that should be in the Grey Wardens, people are shanghaiing them. So some of them have done crimes, some of them are completely innocent. Basically, you've been taken together. You're going to be chosen whether you want to be kept or not by a Grey Warden constable. And if not, something might happen. If you are, then you'll be, whisked off. You'll be taken to a different place, and we'll go from there. So, let us begin at the beginning. So you all have basically arrived from various carts. You've been put into holding cells from wherever you came from. And as dawn breaks on the sort of, some of you have been there for 1 day, some have been there for 2, but most of you have been there on a couple of days. You get basically dragged out in your chains and basically attached to this quite large bench, and you're sort of sitting one along from each other, and you see this very stocky dwarf appear with a look in his face like, let's get this over with. And with him is a Grey Warden. Would you like to describe how you look, Tristan?
I look?
Yeah, like your character look. What would, if people looked at your character, would they just see like someone in like leather armor or?
Leather armor, because he's an archer, and he has dark brown hair.
All right, so Tristan is basically walking behind this small dwarf. This like rather gruff-looking dwarf.
Oh, sorry.
So as he sort of walks round, I need to just move my notes to one side so I can see the thing. As he walks round, you see a sort of very obviously noble-like person walk up to him and go, "You are late again. I can't be doing this here. You have to be on time, otherwise I cannot keep these prisoners." Aye, sure. Right. Who have you got for me this time? It is not my problem. You need to come and get them. If you don't come and get them, then I'm free in my life to get rid of them. I can sell them. Yeah. Right. Here you go. And he takes you and he leads you to. He walks towards the first one, and there's yourselves. There is a Kunari who's got an obviously mangled leg. There are 3 Orlesians. And there's another Dalish elf. So he starts at the end and he goes, and you sort of, the dwarf looks up and down at this sort of first figure and goes, right, who are you? And the Rivani in front of him doesn't say anything. Sorry, Rivani? No,
Kunari.
sorry, the Orlesian in front of him doesn't say anything. Yes, the Orlesian in front of him doesn't say anything. And he goes, right, Can you talk? He just sort of looks at him, doesn't say anything, and goes, right, okay, do you want to join the Grey Wardens? Does this one no speak? And the other goes, he does speak, he just doesn't want to, and he slaps the prisoner across the face, and you see the prisoner spit out a massive pool of blood, and the dwarf goes, "What the fuck have you been doing to these people?" He goes, "He is nothing. He is the one that talks a lot. You don't want him. You don't want him. Now move on. So he sort of carefully walks past them and he looks at the next person. The next person is obviously a male to Vinter. Describe how you look, please, Mr. Eden.
Wearing some pretty fancy looking robes. All black, but kind of shades of black. There's lining that kind of glistens a little bit. It's pretty fancy looking outfit. He is pale as snow, and he has a beard. He's a wizard, and I can't help but give wizards beards.
We all know a wizard needs a beard.
Clean-shaven wizard is a lie.
He loses all his magic in the hair.
Yeah.
Alright, so the dwarf looks down at you and goes, right, you're the Vinter, right?
Yes.
And, talk, brilliant. Right, so what was your crime then?
Well, the locals in the village that I was passing through, the villagers there, they pointed to me and said, blood mage, and that was enough. Now I'm here. Frankly, simply because of my origin, it does not mean that I practice such things. Looks over his shoulder, hearing
I can
this.
feel Amy biting back. So yes, at this point, the sort of mayor-like figure next to the dwarf goes, "You do not want this one. You look at him. He's a blood mage. You don't want blood mage. You want one. Move on. The dwarf goes, well, if he's useful, I do want him, because we always could do more mages than the Grey Wardens." No, you don't want this one. You don't want this one. Come on, move. And the dwarf goes, right, okay. Moves on to the next one. The next one is obviously some sort of elf. Let's do Amy's one. So Amy, describe your character, please.
Some sort of elf. Rude. Ruth is 5 foot. He's very short for an elf. He has long blonde hair and is quite pale, and is huddled in a great number of layers and seems to suffer the cold quite a lot. He's currently going to be looking at the Kunari's leg with a meticulous eye and trying to see if he can maybe fix it on the side.
All right. So the dwarf sort of looks up and goes, elf, so what's your story? What happened to you?
I'm an elf. What do you think happens? We just get carted about like we're nothing.
I'm a dwarf. I don't know these things.
Right.
So why you ended up in a prison cart?
Well, someone took an offense to me. I've got pointy ears, so they thought, well, we don't want rid of them, so we'll just shove them in the cart. So I've been just here, tending the wounded.
Ah, you're a healer then?
Yes, that's my trade.
Ah, yes, well, I'll take this, definitely. He walks, and at this point you see, no, you don't want that one. No, don't keep it. Look, he's scrawny. You don't want him. No, come on, move. The dwarf's getting really annoyed by the fact that every time he tries to start a conversation, he gets moved on by this noble, but carries on. The next two he looks at are a pair of Orlesian thieves. That one of them is quite obviously missing their right hand, and both of them refuse to say anything to him when he tries to talk to them. After the two Orlesians, there's the Kunari, and he goes, you're a big strong lad. You'll be great in the Grey Wardens, won't you? No. Alright, okay. Well, we could always do with you, you do with your help. My leg is mangled. My fight is over.
He's right. It's a bit mangled. I might not be able to do it.
Come on, be a bit more upbeat. Get a new lease of life. Might be able to join a thing and fight the Darkspawn. No. Right. Let's move on. So he moves on a bit more now and finds another sort of human, noble-looking person, obviously Ravani, which is Shiraz. Describe your character, please.
Ravani is Vincenzo is kind of like 5'8". She's got silver hair, olive skin, and he's wearing like what seems to be fairly fancy clothes, but they've seen better days. And all throughout this entire conversation, if this was on a bench, he's been leaning over, taking a look at whatever's been happening. And as soon as the dwarf comes over, he goes, what time will dinner?
Dinner?
The gentleman at the cart didn't answer any of my questions. Usually you serve like aperitif, like,
I see.
And
when's the last time you fed these people? And they don't need food. They don't need food. Look at them. He's fine. He's fine. Don't just move. He's like, no, I'm not done talking this one. So, what's your tale? What's your legacy been?
Terrible misunderstanding. There was a gentleman who didn't use the right word for the little fork that you used to eat fruits with, and I corrected him, and then he wasn't wearing the right clothes for the occasion, and he got very upset at me, and then he told me I had to go with this gentleman, and I pointed to Kunari. And then they put these things on me, and I clink the chains.
Oh,
And I don't understand what's going on, but I'm very good at organizing things. I have organized many parties in my day.
I see. So you're a kind of management role.
Yeah, you sir have an eye for details.
Aye, okay. You trained in swords or anything like that?
I am more familiar with the arcane arts. I have some training with weapons, but I'm mostly magic.
Aye, okay.
You know, little bits and bobs I've picked up, not like our friend over there, and I kind of lean over and point at the robed person. Nothing to do with blood. No, bad business, that.
Alright, okay. Well, keep that in mind. And he sort of carries on and he walks along to someone that's obviously very large and looks very terrifying to anyone else. And he goes, right, do you talk? Tom, describe your character.
Do I answer his question first, or do I describe my character?
Describe your character and then answer the question.
Hi. My character is human. Tall, tough, strong, reasonable amount of scar tissue. Just, standard mercenary looking ass. He's got some bits of armor, sort of mismatched. Doesn't really seem to know how any of them fit together, or indeed whether any of them fit him. But that doesn't seem to concern him all that much. He was just sort of staring blankly into space, thinking about nothing, I imagine. There's not that much up there.
I see.
Bless him. He's a good lad, but there's not much up there.
All right.
What was the question, sorry? I've forgotten.
He sort of looked at you and sort of went, do you talk? That is fine, Roy.
I do talk.
Good. So, what's your story?
I committed a variety of crimes I did not think were crimes. So, chained up, taken in.
I see, and you can swing something.
I can swing a sword. I can hold a shield. I can swing two swords if you want.
Aye, it's always good. See, is that in my house? That's fine. Alright, so he goes, right, okay. So he moves on, and next to Tom is just like a sort of another elf, obviously a Dalish elf. And as soon as the dwarf says what he can say, in, they go, I was wrongfully accused.
Come on, come down.
I was imprisoned. They won't listen to me. Right. Okay. I was wrong. You have to let me go. Right. Okay. What have they accusing you of? I didn't do anything. Would you like to join the Grey Wardens? No, I want to get out of here. I don't want a death sentence. I want to get out of here. Right. Would you stay if a thing, or would you just run? I need to get out of here. And they notice that they're very agitated, and they're actually starting to pull against the restraints very weakly, but they are pulling against the restraints and trying to get away. At this point, the sort of mayor character moves in, slaps him across the face hard, and goes, "No, stay. You did crime. You need to stay here. And if this person will take you, then I will sell you." You're selling them now? I thought we were sending them back somewhere. No, I need to counteract the cost it is for housing these people while you slave over there and don't come and take them. Right. Okay. Is this another one of your tricks to try and get me to take more of them? No, I don't want you to take any of them. You leave them all here. I deal with them.
None of us would like to stay here. We don't like to leave, if possible.
Okay. And he just walks a bit further. He walks a bit further on to just check I've got everyone else off my checklist. Oh, there's another Elysian. It's a very panicked-looking city elf. Sitting at the end, who just has very wide eyes and doesn't talk, but just goes when asked any question. So the dwarf goes, okay. And then finally at the end is this figure with their hood up, and the dwarf goes, why have they got their hood up? And the thing goes, oh, no, you don't look at that one, don't look at that, that is, you unloaded the wrong slave, that slave is not meant to go along here. Alright. Dwarf leans down, pulls the hood back to reveal this obvious Saren, which is a tabaxi. And Rowan, please describe your character.
Juniper is, get off the way, about 4'5". She's got her hood as far around her little face as you can. Little black kitty cat, big yellow eyes, looking at you. And kind of squeaks out like, I didn't do anything.
The dwarf just stares at you like he's never seen anything like you for a while, and then just turns to the thing and goes, am I seeing things, or are they a cat? And at this point, the matron, no, you're seeing things. You're seeing things. She's not a cat person.
Juniper's
no.
eyes go super wide, and she pulls like a really innocent little face.
And the dwarf just looks back, just stares at you like he's never seen anything like you. And the sort of mayor's like, no, especially don't look at this one. Grabs your hood roughly and pulls it back up and goes, no, you don't want that one. You don't want that one. No. Put her back on the cart. And two guards move towards Juniper to move them back, and the dwarf goes, no. She's useful. I'm going to take that one. No. You can't take that one. She's not meant to be here. No. Anyone that's here, I get to tape. So I'm keeping this in. The mayor's obviously really annoyed now. He goes, all right, hang on. He snaps his fingers, and a very gruff-looking man walks over with a small, it looks like a sort of star-shaped brand. And he goes, which ones are you keeping? The dwarf just looks at him and goes, what are you doing with that? And he goes, we have started to brand anyone you take in the Grey Wardens. That way if they come back here a second time, we know they're not for this and they can just go straight out the door. You're gonna brand them. At this point, you just notice the dwarf has a very obvious, castless brand below his eye. And he goes, I'd have a problem with that. And he goes, I don't care what your problem is. You tell me which ones you want, they get a brand on their hand, and then you can go with you. I don't care. Alright. So he begrudgingly walks back over, and he walks to each of you in turn and goes, aye, that one. The only other one he walks to is the Elysian with the missing tongue, and he goes, aye, that one. And every time he says that one, you just feel someone gruffly grabbing your hand and burning this star into the back of your hand.
Can I request the brand be somewhere else?
Where would you like the brand to be?
I would like it to be just above my right shoulder blade, please.
You ask this, and the dwarf goes, I don't see it, as the guy just gruffly grabs your hand and brands you anyway and goes, no change. We can't have change. We have to look over the whole body for brands. No. Just back of hand. Easy to see. Back of hand. You know what? Okay.
I'm in the middle of having a conversation with whoever's next to me, and then my hand just goes out and they brand it, and I go, ah! I always wanted it.
Ruth's just silent. Oh, no, you go.
You go first.
Ruth's just silently glaring and just grimacing as they do it. In his head, he's like, "Fuck you."
Healing magic it.
I could,
How that
but
works.
you can, I suppose. But it's a way. It's you can look at it later.
So
You might be able to heal it naturally.
Right.
Ooh, that's nice.
And then Rod?
Juniper puts out a little whenever you do hers.
Yeah.
There's probably a smell of burning hair as well, I imagine.
Burning fluff.
The mayor seems very annoyed that that the siren is being taken. So the dwarf goes, right, well, I guess that'll do. I'll take this these 7. And the guy goes back, but what? Why are you only taking 7? Why not take all of them? And the dwarf's like, you've been spending this whole time telling me I shouldn't take any of them. Why are you caring if I don't take many of them? Well, if I'm going to lose money, I'd rather lose lots of money and get more Grey Wardens so you can get the hell out of my village. Right, well, I'm not taking that in, because he won't do it. And he points to the canary. The canary just gives him a glare and just looks back down at the floor again. I'm not taking those 2 because one's missing a hand and they don't talk. And the 2 of them sort of look, they seem to be talking amongst themselves and not looking for much. And I'm not taking that elf because they'll just run the second I get them. And the elf just goes, but I didn't do anything! I didn't do anything! So, I'll take the rest of these and we'll go in, we'll sort them out. And we'll go for you there. And at this point the mayor looks still very annoyed and he agrees to have each one of you sort of uncuffed. So goes around one at a time uncuffing you and leads you and points you off to a sort of quite large, obvious hall-looking building off to the side. Says, you can take them in there. I moved those supplies you wanted into there, so you take it. I deal with the rest of them. And as the sort of group of you are walking away, yourselves, the dwarf, the other Grey Warden that was with him, and this other Orlesian, you look back and you see a quite obviously Tevinter walking from behind what looks like a gallows to the middle, going like looking around the rest of them like she's evaluating how much they'd be worth for each of them. And the dwarf's just like, I can't deal with these people. So as you go inside, there's a sort of big pile of like weapons lying around, so you basically take whatever weapons you feel that your character wants. So I will just go through you one at a time. I'll let you just do a discussion of what you guys want for weapons and stuff. So we will start. Let's start with Shiraz.
I'll just pick 2 daggers and whatever light armor that they have over there, like leather armor or something.
All right. Tom?
Something that's fashionable.
Yeah. I can imagine you looking for fashion more than the actual protection.
Yeah, it's a fashion souls, so it's like, which one? Go with the blue color nicely.
Do they have any pole arms?
They have a very crude-looking halberd.
How crude? Is it going to last?
It looks like it's been salvaged from at least 2 battles.
It has a swear word on the side. Very crude.
And that'd be the bastard sword, surely.
Yeah. Well done, man.
Yeah, I'll take the pole arm. I guess I'll grab any armor that I currently don't have. Some shin pads maybe.
Do you want a shield or anything? Or are you happy with just the pole arm?
I'll take the shield, but the pole arms are 2-handed, I think. So
you can have a shield with you.
I'll keep the shield just in case, and maybe I don't know, a short sword or something as backup.
Okay. Because I should have done their character first, but forgot. Bach, what's Tristan using as their weapons?
His main weapon is bow and arrows, but he also has some throwing daggers.
Okay. And we'll go to Eden.
Wraith would probably have a staff or a stave fire type, if that's available.
Okay. But this is a bunch of staves just lying around. Everything here looks like it's been salvaged from at least 1 battle, if not more. Okay. Then we have Amy. You're muted, Amy. Either that or you're not talking.
Frozen, perhaps?
No.
My microphone.
There we go. Now you know.
My microphone got taken out by the cat.
I relate.
I will take a staff and a set of daggers. And he's not really one to wear armor, so he'll just take any like a cloak and some mittens, maybe, and a hat to keep himself warm, and just like huddle in the corner.
I'm just imagining hobo wizard.
Kind of.
Radagast the Brown.
Hobo wizard with like two ears just pointed
It's all
out.
like cozy. He looks really cozy, but because he's got like all these layers, so everything's like layered on top of each other. But he looks warm, but he's not warm. He's constantly going to complain that he's cold.
I see.
So yeah, he's just gonna like hunch in the corner and like fold his arms and just like sulk.
All right. And then Rowan. I probably should get used to using character names actually, but I'll do this and we'll do that.
How many daggers are left?
There are daggers left.
How many are there?
Several weird and bizarre daggers just lying around. Again, mostly just stuff that looks like it's been looted off a battlefield.
Okay, I'm taking all of them, and they are going in various sleeves and pockets, all hidden under the hood. There's a couple going in the boots. There's definitely one strapped to her back somewhere, and you think one gets like shoved down the top of the shirt. It's kind of hard to tell. They're all gone now. Sorry.
That's fine. All right.
All the stabby things.
So,
Well,
you
yeah,
can go
stabby.
first.
So you notice the Orlesian take a single pair of daggers before the siren comes in and steals all of them. And as you sort of start talking amongst yourselves, the dwarf goes, "Right, well, I guess we should do some introductions. I'm Yevon. I'm the Warden Constable. I'm basically, second in charge for the Warden Commander in this area. And it's my job to do a lot of recruiting. As from now, you are officially all drafted into the Grey Wardens. You will have your joining ritual in a couple of weeks, but for the moment, you're just going to be doing some manual shit till we get it all done, till we see what you're like in the field, and then we'll do the joining ritual. That's all you need to know really about that. I won't talk more about that, but we'll learn it all in time. This is Tristan," introduces the other Grey Warden. They've just been brought to the same place. They were sort of found wandering around, and I think they must have got lost off a cart or something. But aye, this is Tristan, Grey Warden. Good lad. So aye, that's all you. Any other questions you want to ask?
Juniper's going to pull Cabbage's hand down.
It's Cabbage.
Aye.
Just
I'm gonna just look at Jennifer, just going like, wow, but
two cute little yellow eyes peek up at you. Little round face, little round eyes. Pupils go huge.
I can't fight that. So like, yeah, I'll just give him.
I'd just like to note at this point that for the entire time, Wraith has not really interacted with anybody, and I failed to mention, but he's about 6'8", so he's quite tall and skinny and gaunt, and he is kind of glowered for the entire time, and he is very much glowering at the person that's talking to them, just giving them a deep, dark stare into the soul.
Oh, him and Ruth will probably have been doing daggers at each other the entire time.
Oh, he barely even acknowledged Ruth. He's given you a look and has just gone straight back to like circumstances of what's on his mind. He's focused on the people that have got control right now.
Ruth's just like, typical Vint.
Something tells me there's going to be an accident in the future.
Just one last thing. Didn't he? As I said, I'm Yevon, but I didn't catch your names. He sort of points around the rest of you. He gets all the names off you and goes, "All right, okay." Gets a little bit more of where you're from each of you. Goes, "All right, okay. All right, okay." And wait. You see him notably counting all of you, and goes, "Is there someone missing?" And you look round and notice that the Orlesian that he took is not there anymore. And he goes, "We got another runner. It's fine, don't worry, but they'll be brought back." And at this point, before he can say anything else, you hear this, "This is unbearable." And the door slams open and the mayor from earlier walks in and goes, You have just you've spoiled a world of change. This Orlesian bastard you hired has already stabbed my contact from the winter. What? My wonderful contact, the beautiful lady I was discussing that was going to buy the slaves. She's been stabbed. She's been left bleeding in the floor by this Orlesian pig dog that you have kept.
Oh, what a pity, Vince dead.
What now? He just sighs and looks and goes, this is unbearable. I cannot deal with this. And just double check his name. I gave him the most fanciest fucking name I could find. I am Bonde St. Pierre. I cannot stand this in my village. You have spilt the blood of the winter. We can't do this. Where is this Orlesian? He must be hung. I haven't seen him. Mainly because I haven't seen him. So, if you know where he is, please go ahead. You can take him. He's left my company. I'm no longer responsible for him.
Juniper points left.
Typical Grey Warden. You cannot take responsibility for anything. Ah! He turns round and looks and goes, thank you. Turns round, storms out, and as the dwarf goes, hi, and at this point, as you hear a shriek from him come, and he storms back in and go, don't do that! He's let the prisoners out! The rest of them have gone! What are you doing? Why are you here? Get out there! Find them! Find them!
You're peeking a little there.
Yeah, sorry.
But it was perfect because like
It was actually work.
It did sound really good.
It captured the emotion of it really well.
It's like the character. We're all like tuning out the screaming because we've heard so much screaming in the past like 2 days or whatever. So we've kind of like tuned him out, and that was perfect.
Yeah, so
It was pretty good.
Yeah, so let me know if I do that because I will try and dial it back down again. But yeah.
The mayor comes back and Juniper points right.
This time I also point right because I see what's happening and I'm like.
So the dwarf turns to the rest of you and goes, right, well, I guess we've got your first assignment then. I guess we'll go look at the cart. And all of you sort of trape out in a very sort of rabble. And as you get back outside, you see in the courtyard where you all were, next to all the benches, you see the very obviously, viciously, repeatedly stabbed body of a female Tevinter. You see a cart that looks like it's had the back door ripped off of it, basically. And you see a bunch of footprints and stuff leading away from the area. What do you want to do?
I'm going to wander over to the presumably corpse and prod it with the butt of my halberd and just see what happens.
Seeing you do that, sorry, Wraith, seeing a fellow Tevinter on the ground like that, kind of walks over and knocks your hand as you go for the poke, like, don't desecrate this corpse. And he kneels down to have a closer look.
I was going to say, I don't know if it's a corpse yet.
Well, it's a stabbing. What do you expect, boy?
People can live stabbings, and then I point to various scars. It's like, people can survive stabbings.
Yeah, but you didn't have any blood. That's a lot of blood. Too much
I'll give you
blood
that.
to survive from.
I'll give you that.
What a shame.
Well, we can't all be as hardy as you. And he looks down at the body to check. Is this what kind of stabbing wounds are we talking about? Is it clearly a dagger? Is it
roll me
a
awareness?
large weapon? Sorry?
Roll me awareness.
Awareness. What am I rolling for you?
Just D20 plus awareness, whatever your awareness buff is.
Let me just double check that.
I just realised the big problem with this system is I should really have the list of skills in front of me to ask if you have them and stuff. So give me 2 seconds, I will just draw them up as well.
I have a total of 15.
15, okay. So you look over, you see there are obvious repeated violent stab wounds into the stomach of this person, as if they've just been walked up, and it looks like, from the angle they're at, it looks like they've been sort of grabbed by the shoulder, spun around, and then just repeatedly stabbed over and over again in the stomach.
Okay. Looks like quite the frenzied attack. It's not clear exactly what weapon has done this, but clear that they were out of blood. This isn't defense. He looks around.
Well, your people aren't exactly welcome down this way.
Yes, as I've found out to my misfortune, and he kind of looks around everybody with, again, like a grim expression on his face.
Can I?
I just sort of shrug slightly.
Can I look at the tracks?
You can, yes.
Okie dokie.
Do you have tracking or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, roll tracking.
Cool. $11.
I just realised that the reason I'm not hearing the Discord roll is because Discord mutes it on server. Okay, 1 second. But yes, okay, cool. So you look around, you find the track seem to lead off towards the entrance to the village. So you're just going to follow them to the.
It's gonna following them.
All right. I just need to move this to here so I have the dice rolling pot. I can see it. There we go. Cool. Okay. So the is everyone going to follow over to there, or are you going to? Is anyone else looking for anything actually while we're here? What's
At this point, I am following the legally distinct cat person constantly.
The legally distinct cat person.
What's going on. The legally
Ruth's
distinct
hanging back. Ruth's hanging back and observing.
I'm gonna. First, I'm gonna ask. How do you deal with your deceased, of your fellow countrymen?
Oh, you've caught me in a law trap, you bugger.
Oh, damn! Sorry, didn't mean to.
I don't know to into rituals to that level, I'm afraid. If anybody can fill me in if there's some specific thing, otherwise it will just be a general we respect bodies type thing.
Standard burial situation.
Usually, I think they burn the bodies. I think in Nevada they put them in crypts, but as far as I know, they either burn or bury them.
For the sake of flavour, then.
Lily.
Yeah.
Lily.
Oh, the dog.
Oh, you're winging. Okay, so for the sake of flavour, we burn our dead.
I see.
And if possible, I'd like to do a little flare of fire in my hand as Wraith looks to... Was the person that was leading us out here, are they still with us right now?
Yes. The dwarf is still there, yes.
Would you care if I were to dispose of the body in the time-honoured ways?
He sort of looks at it and goes, hang on a minute. And he sort of turns round and yells. I just need to double check his name just for a sec. Bad one. And this man goes, you butcher my name every time you say it. What do you want now? You should be out there finding those people. The vendor guy here, he says they burned the dead. Can we just burn it? No, you cannot burn the body here. You're sending it back. Otherwise, they just disappear. We can't have it disappearing. No. We will send it back to the vendor with multiple apologies. Right.
Well, as long as the body makes its way back.
Oh, okay. So the dwarf goes, very well, let's go find... You are not going anywhere. What? You need to sort all this stuff. I cannot have you going everywhere. Your second is fine. You can take them. Oh, okay. Guess you're up, Tristan. And the dwarf sort of turns to Tristan and just leans in and goes, I'm gonna kill this guy, I swear. And just turns round and starts walking back inside with the sort of Mayor Royal. So it's now just the group of you. There is no other NPCs with you. What would you like to do?
Would like to shout to everyone else saying we found some tracks.
200 meters away off down the trail.
I am shouting really loud.
We found some tracks!
Hey, you guys!
Sure. I guess I'll start wandering over that way.
Alright.
Yeah. Wraith is hanging at the back, kind of alongside Ruth, but not quite. They're a couple of footsteps apart.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a if there was a short distance between them, Ruth would make an obvious obvious increase of the space between them because he does not want to be. His arms are like folded. He's just like, nope.
You wanna keep each other within eyesight, but not
Yeah.
within hands reach.
Yeah, or like giving each other this like suspicious look every now and again.
Any
Like, I
sudden
don't
movements
trust
and
you.
there's going to be a murder.
Any sudden movements and Ruth is running for the hills. I don't want to be a slave.
Hey, you're not a slave. You're a Grey Warden now.
But
But you know what? This makes me think of like the French Foreign
guess.
Legion.
It is the French Foreign Legion.
pretty much.
Which would be amazing because if the battle commander was just an Jacques Pierre type character.
What are you doing down there?
All right. So
Hello?
you follow the dead cat. You follow the you follow the trail of tracks, and it leads down to the entrance. And as you get that far, you notice that one set of tracks leads what looks off to a woods, and the other one leads along the dirt path. Which one do you want to look at each? Do you want to follow one? What do you want to do?
Can I don't know what to do to investigate the track. Like it'd be tracking, right?
It would be. Let me just have a look at the things. It would be. Hello, cat. He's gonna move us if I've done this. It would be tracking, probably, yes. If you don't have tracking, you can roll awareness. It will just be slightly. The number basically you need to get will be slightly higher. Put it that way.
I know this. You can tell me if this is okay, but like I'm gonna remove 1 point from drugs, resistant poison, and this is gonna be the last change I'm making. And can I put it in tracking instead?
That's fine.
Because I feel like I wouldn't be able to resist drugs and poison. Because
That's fine. If anyone does want to do like a subtle changes at this point to their character, now you know a little bit more. That is completely fine. But after this character, you'll have to just basically accept what you have from this point. But yes, if anyone does want
Vincenzo,
to do
you have a very delicate disposition and
I do.
a very weak stomach.
A very weak stomach for anything. Like you should have seen me at that party. I swear I had an entire tanker. I would like to track. I would like to select the tracks that were going off into the dark forest because I've done mistakes in my life, and usually forests are easy places to get lost in.
Okay.
So,
Can I tell if there are two sets of tracks and if they were made by two different people or the same person?
There are what looks like there was. Yep. There are. Oh, I just realised. Sorry, the canary is still sitting in the cart. I think he doesn't want to move. He's just not saying anything, just staring into space.
The guy whose legs mangled, yeah.
Yeah, he's just sitting there.
Yeah.
So I don't care. The trail of the tracks. Apart from that, there are 4 sets of tracks. It looks like 2 go on the road, and the other 2 are going into the forest. If you want to examine them more, if someone wants to roll tracking, I can tell you more.
13 for the ones going into the forest.
Okay.
I might as well roll again.
13 tells you that there is, going into the forest, there is one that looks very light-footed, and there's one that's very, flat-footed.
So is it like a heavy person and a light person, or is it like a different
It
kind of...
looks like someone who's used to running very lightly, and someone that's not used to running.
So a thief.
Okay.
And
okay.
who are the other ones? There was 2 thieves.
There was
thieves,
two
one without a
Orlesian
hand and-
thieves. There was an Orlesian that had his tongue cut out. Actually, no, there is 5. Sorry, there's one more I need to put in. There was 2 Orlesians. There was one that had his tongue cut out. There was the elf that said they didn't do anything wrong, and then there was the Panic City elf.
What
And
about the guy with the sword?
We'll say that 3 went along the road and 2 went into the forest. So
The guy with the sword, the Orlesian who stabbed the elf back there. Which is he? Is his tracks going potentially this way, or maybe he's run a different direction?
I would definitely say that the 2 going into the forest are still, one is quite light-footed, one is very flat-footed. The other 3 look like they are from the way that their feet land, basically, from that you can see in the tracks, like the part of their foot that's in the ground and stuff. That they look like they're all used to running.
Yeah. I just tell everyone that 2 of them broke off here into the forest.
Do we split the group? Or do
If I had stabbed someone repeatedly, I would not like to stay on the road. Not that I've ever stabbed anyone. No, that's not me.
A ball patch out the camera.
So yeah, because I missed doing it, you can talk to the canary if you want, or you can just ignore him. It's up to you.
I'm tempted to wander over to him and just say, what happened to your leg?
Broke.
Fall or mace?
Yes.
Fall and mace?
He just looks at you. He just doesn't give you a sort of glare or anything. Just looks at you, just like he doesn't understand why you keep talking to him, and goes, "Yes."
Which battles you fought in?
Many.
Good man. Fought well. And then I'm going to wander off.
Okay.
While they were chatting,
A few words from one merc to another, I guess.
while they were chatting, Wraith was getting a look at his leg. Is it in a healable state, or is this an old wound?
It looks like it looks basically like it kind of looks like he's stood in what's like a bear trap, but it's like hit him in the knee, which must have been one big fucking bear trap. But
Yeah.
his knee is totaled and his leg's just fucked. Like you've seen him walk once, and you could barely put like any pressure on his leg. His leg is just fucked.
Okay. I'm just thinking that as like an experienced healer, would Wraith see any opportunity to try and assist here, or is it a lost cause where it's kind of like there's not much that could be done to restore?
You could try and
function
heal him.
here?
You could try and heal him if you wanted.
Wraith, quietly, as is his way, kind of lumbers over to him and looks down at him and says, "I have ideas about your leg. I may be able to assist. Would you permit me?"
My fight is over.
Juniper.
The fight is never over. As you can see, we've a task ahead, and an extra pair of hands wouldn't hurt.
It is the way of the coon.
And I think does Wraith know
Yeah.
when June?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're at war. The Tevinter is at war with Kunari, usually.
Okay then. Cool.
The heavy
Wraith
attacks.
kind of the glowering ramps up just a tiny notch. As much as it was already at a high level, he's now fully like, try and have it your way. And he walks away with a dismissive hand wave of like, whatever. I was going to try and help you.
Okay.
Ruth's gonna like arc an eyebrow at him at the whole like display and be like, "Huh, unusual for a Vint."
Alright, you two, don't make me clap your heads together. Got a job to do.
Can I climb a tree and see if I can see anyone ahead?
Yep.
Yep. What do I roll for that?
That would be.
I don't see tree climbing on the list of skills.
Dex.
It would be Dex, yeah. It would probably. It basically just come under a basic Dex roll.
Coolio. No. Yes.
Yes.
Sneeze.
Sneeze.
Goes on touch.
No,
You're
it's
hurt
gone.
now.
It's gone. It's gone. 17.
17. Fantastic. Yes, you climb the tree. You jump up very nimbly, and jump up pretty damn high, and you're quite happy with yourself. You know what you're doing. So you get to the top, and you look, and in the distance, you do see 3 figures still running along the road.
Is one of them the stabby guy?
They all 3 of them do look like they're Legion 3. Yes.
And is that down the forest path or the other one?
That's down the dirt road.
Down the dark
Hang on,
road.
I'm still confused. There's the panicked elf, the
There's
city elf.
The two are
pan-
Legion.
panic-
Two are Legions that wouldn't talk. One of which is missing their right hand.
and the
There's
other
the
is
third
the,
are Legion,
both
which
the
is the-
thieves, right?
Yeah, there's the 2 that were the thieves. The third one is the one without a tongue. The fourth one is the Dalish elf that was basically all they would say is, I didn't do it, I don't want a death sentence. Yeah. And the last one is a city elf who just didn't say anything and was panicked.
Which one did the stabbing then? Because I thought.
The tongueless are Legion.
Oh, did we take him?
The
thought it was a
dwarf
different
that take
one.
him, yeah.
We did, and he escaped, and that's how.
I made a mistake. I thought it was another Orlesian had popped up, and he was the one who'd gone. Oh well, never mind. scratch that. Ignore me.
I'm gonna jump down the tree and just start walking along the dark path.
All right. You gonna tell anyone anything, or are you just gonna walk?
Nope.
Yep.
We're just
Nope.
watching you go.
Nope, cat gone. Cat's gone.
Okay.
Disappeared into the dark.
Oh, well,
Like any other person who sees a cat walk somewhere, just like out of some weird kind of like concern, just start moving towards that direction.
we
I
should
say,
probably,
what's gonna fuck up here?
we should probably go that way. In
What
case,
way? What? Where have they gone?
Exactly. I'm gonna start running in the direction they went.
Okay.
I'm not trying.
Who's they?
The
Legally distant cat
the
person.
legally distinct cat person and the pompous git.
I love how I've got a tag along already.
Okay, that's my reaction.
All right.
Wraith looks to Tristan, having kind of assumed that he's in control, and is. Shall we follow?
No. You could try and control us. It's not going to work very well.
Yeah,
I
actually,
just brood a lot in silence and watch everyone and listen carefully.
You're the supervisor, are you?
See, Tristan's just watching what we're doing and just
this is
like
this is
gonna
this is
follow
like,
along, make sure we don't die.
Yeah, this is like Tristan's third squad or something.
I
Last
like.
who went off the cliff. The one
We
before
don't talk
that.
about the
like,
we don't talk about that one.
I like the idea that that this is an unofficial assessment and you're just following along making notes in a little book, and sometimes you get out the red pen.
yes,
How does that make you feel?
Ooh.
Don't know, just sort of stab things really.
Juniper thinks how nice the red pen would be to steal.
Ruth's gonna slowly follow behind, but like keep his wits about him as they're walking through as he's walking through the forest. Cause
So
it's
are
like
you going?
dark.
Are you going
Yeah,
through the
I'm gonna
forest, or are you
follow
going
them.
through the dirt path? Because they do seem sort of split.
I was gonna follow after. I was gonna say Ishidori, and I was like, no, that's not your name for this.
blast from the past.
I'm gonna follow Cabbage. Cabbage.
Kabash.
Vincenzo.
But I'm not running. I'm gonna be like, I'm quite fast paced, but still like making sure.
Power walking.
Yeah, power walking behind them.
Wraith maintains the same pace. Like you've spotted already amongst the group probably that like he just walks at the same pace. He's got a steady, like I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. He's quite a tall guy, so it's just like elongated walk.
Stride.
Stride.
Yeah.
Sliding because of the roads.
All right. So, I take it that can everyone just remind me again which direction you went, just so I know if we're splitting the party or if we're keeping it together.
I
We
think
went down the
we're
road,
I think we're keeping it
Like all of you
together.
went down the road. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
following the three of them.
So you start off down the road. You eventually get to. Eventually, the road comes to like a sort of crossroads, and you notice that two go one way, one goes another. One looks like it's obviously running toward. There's obviously a sort of hamlet or something over the hill, because there's like the usual sort of couple of small smoke signals and stuff you get from a small village being nearby. And the other two seem to be running towards the other road. And those of you who came from, I think where it would be Rivani, so it would basically just be Vincenzo recognizes that that's the road he came down to get to this village.
On the way here, could I just like keep an eye out for like blood splatter?
Yep.
I'm just gonna roll
Roll awareness.
Yeah. 16.
16. Cool. You notice one or two blood spots here. It looks like someone it looks like either someone had a very small cut that left like 4 drops of blood, or someone handed something that was dripping blood to someone else.
The crossroads. And like, does it go in any direction? You know, like when blood splatters on the ground, it
The
just
blood
like
splatter it makes to believe that the blood was handed to the set of 2 that went off. Let's say the set of 2 went left. So it looks like whatever the
away
weapon
from
was
the
handed
hamlet.
to them.
away
So-
from the hamlet,
So the thieves went away from the hamlet with the bloody dagger.
and then this one person went off there. So
The tongueless
I'm
one
not-
went to the hamlet.
I'm not going to roleplay this because I don't think I'm skilled enough for it. But essentially, Vincenzo goes full on crazy person mode and goes like, "This is how it happened." Yeah, it's all going to be a lot of
The guy
gesticulating
with
and a
like
lot of
the
like
strings going.
yeah,
You
and
do the
then a lot of,
CSI.
I still
yeah,
have the
CSI
and a lot of,
reveal.
like,
I
a
did
lot
find
of
the picture
knife
recently
hand
of
pointing.
I found the picture
So-
recently of Ishidoro and the one where he's got the thing on the wall and he's wearing the shirt going. Do love that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Karen.
And essentially, like, he's doing the knife hands at the blood splatter, like he's like, and then explaining how blood splatters work, and then after a long time of like just trying to say something, takes a huge breath and goes, "I think he went to the hamlet over there."
Oh God, we're starting
This whole time, everyone
CSI
else has
relay.
been doing that meme with all the numbers floating out into the screen. Like,
Ruth's been following every word because he's a healer, so he's done surgery and things like that so he understands how blood works. So he's just been like, "This is not new to me, but okay, well done."
Yeah, but it's also not expert knowledge. It's like
Yeah.
kind of the knowledge you'd get if you read a Wikipedia article about it.
Mhm.
Like it's not actual knowledge. It's more like I read a scroll about this once.
Juniper's gonna take Cabbage's hand the way when he's pointing and just start pulling him towards the hamlet. And just
Okay.
off she goes.
I get pulled.
All right. So
Not hard pulling, just kind of like,
No.
come on.
Yeah.
as you're about to decide what you're doing, you hear a scream coming from the way the 2 sets of feet went.
oh,
No.
Oh no.
Going in that direction, is there anything
Who's
on the
closest
horizon?
in that direction?
You don't see anything on the horizon, but there's like a small hill, like, not very far after it. If you can go to the top of that and look over if you want. Not that you'll be
On
that
the
far away
road.
from the crossroads anyway.
Yeah, but we'd be like towards the hamlet, and everyone else would be that side.
Yeah. The hamlet is the other direction, so yeah, it's up to you.
Wraith doesn't visibly react to the scream apart from turning to look at where it came from and then just looks back at the rest of the group like, well,
Yeah, Ruth's doing the same, but silently. Are we going to have a look at that or continue
Sure,
on
why
our
not?
chase?
I'm gonna.
I look at Tristan expectantly for like instructions on what to do in this situation.
We should probably take a look.
Juniper pulls her ears back and goes,
I'm gonna grab Vincenzo.
So
and,
now I'm like this basically.
yeah, and then I'm gonna toss you up and grab you by your ankles, so you're really high up.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
from his new vantage
What
point,
can you see?
Alright, let me go.
technique.
roll me
And then-
some roll
and
me
then I
some
just do
awareness,
this.
Vincenzo.
hand goggles,
Hang
hand
on.
binoculars.
Hello,
Well, actually,
what are you doing?
we could get even higher. So I look at like maybe the distinct cat person, and I go, Juniper.
Can I jump up onto his shoulders?
You
It's
can.
only
Yes.
like 4
do
foot
a
5.
do a dex roll.
Coolio.
This is turning into a trapeze act all of a sudden.
Ruth's just like confused and looking at them all, just going, "What?"
Yeah.
Fine.
This is not protocol. This is not like the Warden protocol.
You jump up. You have to dig your claws deep into the back of Vincenzo
sounds
to stop
like
yourself
you.
falling, but you sort of haul your way up like only a cat can.
Yep, that's Juniper.
So you're standing on top of Vincenzo now. Vincenzo is quite obviously bleeding from the shoulders.
Jesus.
That's Juniper.
I picked the leather armor that didn't have the shoulder pads, because shoulder pads are so like last season.
Yeah. The thing is that even though they have captured the cat person, they haven't declawed or cut the claws of the cat person, so they still have quite sharp claws.
I can't trim her claws. She is too wriggly.
Boom.
So accurate.
Through the pain, I am going to roll my awareness roll.
Okay.
What
And
can I see?
as a result, it's
if
like
you both
very
do me an
low
awareness
skill.
roll, Vincenzo and Juniper, please.
I got a 5 because currently I'm in pain.
That's
I am
fair.
not.
Let me roll mine. +3.
Oh, it's
15.
It's
Alright.
a comfy zoop.
Yeah, the comfy zip. So yes, the Juniper sees in the distance, lying on the ground, is the flailing body of what looks like one of their legions, and that you can see even from there. There's a pool of red appearing next to his feet.
Anything else?
Dead.
That's all you see on that side of the road, anyway.
Yes, so
Lots of blood.
a deadman
dead
versus
Well, that's one less we have to think about.
a tongueman.
Blood everywhere.
Do you think they stabbed one another, or do you think they got stabbed and the other one ran away?
There's
I
just
can only
one-
see one.
Does it? That's not the direction we're supposed to be going, anyways.
Don't know.
up
What
to you.
are we actually doing here? Trying to catch
this point-
everyone, or just the murder?
We're trying to catch the guy that stabbed the vintner.
Yeah, while this is happening, I am gingerly climbing down the large, muscly man as well, like as
Just the same.
appropriately as possible.
I'm just not even paying attention. I'm too busy having a conversation. It's just like, huh?
Juniper is gripping on with all 4 paws.
I just like the idea that you sort of climb down from what's your character's name again?
Enchantment.
Graham.
Yeah.
Grim.
Well, Graham.
Graham. You climb down from
Grim.
Graham's shoulders, and Juniper is still attached to the top of you. As Juniper sort of springs off with no effort at all, literally you have these massive, like 3 gashes on each shoulder that are bleeding quite heavily.
Ruth's just shaking his head. Come over here. And I'm gonna cast
I
heal.
got a boo!
I am
Tend
trying
to
to
the
play it
wounds.
very cool. Like it doesn't hurt at all. Internal screaming is at like 9 out of 10.
All right, roll your heal.
Or you're actually screaming your head off, and Ruth's just like, I haven't even touched you yet.
Roll your heal.
Juniper
Amy.
just waggles her little hands and goes, sorry, danger mittens.
Danger mittens. My magic is
You
plus
are
5.
shedding like nothing else.
Plus 5.
Your danger mittens out.
Oh, that's a 14.
Yes, you managed to stop the bleeding and at least lightly heal over the wounds enough that he's not going to pour blood everywhere. But his nice new leather armor does have like massive holes at the top of it now.
Yeah.
I shall call you Pincushion from now on.
I accept.
Alright then, I guess to the hamlet we go.
All right. So are you going to ignore the person on the floor and go the other way?
Yeah, they lost too much blood, given
Alright.
the description from.
If you could see the blood from that far away.
Yeah,
Not a
they
good
That's a lot
did.
of blood.
They did. They ain't coming back from
Alright.
that.
So you head the opposite direction from the body, and you go towards the hamlet. As you arrive in the hamlet, it looks literally like a very tiny village. There's like 3 buildings. There's a what looks like a very pathetic inn that looks like it's been converted from a small stables. And there's 2 or 3 villagers just looking
as it
around.
were.
Yeah.
2-horse town, except one of them's on bricks.
Yep.
And what was the other things that were around? Sorry.
In
After
the village,
tavern.
there's a small tavern that looks like just a couple of houses, but they look like sort of kind of bunkhouses rather than individual houses.
Okay.
Well, in times of trouble, head for the inn.
All right.
Well, I suppose we should see if anybody has seen our dear little friend, companion, colleague.
Okay.
You think
Is
he'd
there anything
stab
out on the street
someone?
right now?
You think he'd stab someone and go straight for a drink? I respect this man.
He might have.
Okay. So you walk into the inn. Well, I say walk into the inn. You walk towards the inn and open the door. It is very much a stables. It's got like 2 tables inside and a small pile of bottles in the corner, and there's a person walking around inside. They turn around and go, hi.
Hello. Thank
have
you for letting us into your fine establishment. And it kind of trails off. Have you seen a man who can't speak and is covered in blood?
He just sort of looks confused around and goes, how would I know he can't speak?
That's not the important bit. The important bit is he just stabbed a nobleman.
And I point at Grem because like this.
Okay. So you point out and he goes, no. What would I do with a person like that? And you see him notably keep looking over at another door and looking back to you.
I'm going to say, I completely understand, and I'm going to walk over to the door and swing it open as hard as I can.
All right. Roll your strength.
What am I rolling? Strength.
Roll your strength. Let's see how much this door flies off.
Oh, jeez.
Property
Okay,
damage.
I apologize in advance for property damage.
Ruth's gonna duck preemptively.
Vincenzo, true to his form, has not got the message, and he's like, "Why? What are you doing with your face?" As the
Really?
door goes-
Ugh.
as
What
the
a-
door goes-
You grab the door
What a
and
terrible...
you go, and the door doesn't move. The door stays shut.
I'm going to pull it again.
All right. Roll again.
I'm gonna order a beer.
I love
You
the
missed the space, Tom.
supervisor attitude of like these people.
I need to be drunk for this.
I cycle over to Ruth and I'm like, "What do you think is wrong with this face? Do you want to heal
Okay.
him?"
You grab the door
I
with more
think
vigor and you
he's-
pull. The door splinters and flies wide open.
Ruth's just gonna like watch this happen and then
Um,
answer Vincenzo with like, because this is why.
Alright, what's
And as
behind
you look to the door, you see the smallest window you've ever seen. A pair of boots wiggle their way out of them and drop to the floor.
He's getting away.
He's done a runner out the window. I'm going to jump through the window.
It's
Roll. I don't think there's any way you'll fit, but roll. This will be fun.
Well, I'm assuming since it's a converted shed, the walls probably aren't super strong, and I am quite strong. So I think if I shoulder charge
Yes.
the window, I should take enough of the frame with me
Theoretically, yes.
that I will be able to fit.
It's also like I can't.
Hopefully.
If you do succeed, I want the window frame to be your new belt.
Okay,
Alright,
roll.
fine. It's currently a piece of rope, so I can, like, use the rope for something else. I don't know, maybe a nice necklace.
I will see what's happening, and I will immediately exit the door and try and see if I can get eyes on this person.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Ruth's
should
gonna follow,
probably,
go outside
do a
and
pincer maneuver.
All right. Well,
Can we see out the window? Can we see out the window?
you could just see a pair of boots sort of go through the window, and before you can't really see much out of it. You just see that it just looks like you could just see out the outside. If you stood next to it, you probably could see out of it. But before you can do that, I think
Grem.
Grem is charging at it full pelt. So
Oh jeez,
Roll.
here we go. Come on. I need a high roll for this. Come on, don't let me down. Roll strength, is it?
yep.
No, apparently that's not permissible.
Maybe it's the
Roll.
capital D.
Maybe it's the capital D.
Yeah. Oh, hi.
Oh my god,
Right.
pathetic.
You hear a loud crunch.
This is the very good woodwork here.
Wait,
The-
I hear the crunch,
Everyone
or do
else
they
hears this
hear?
crunch.
Right.
On the floor outside the thing is Graham. He is lying on top of the wall.
Oh.
There's a creaking sound.
Oh,
Followed
everybody
by
go out the pub.
a sort of
Uh-oh.
followed
I'm gonna
by
do the
sound
zoomies.
of a building collapsing inwards behind you and a scream.
Juniper is going to zoom out of that building as fast as a cat with zoomies.
Is that by chance? Do I recognise that crunch from my many years of being a mercenary as the crunch of bones being squashed by, for instance, a wall with a large man on top?
It definitely sounds like the sound of a very rotten old wall being taken down.
Oh, phew. Okay, well, I haven't killed him immediately. Necessarily.
Ruth's very glad that they've decided to step out. Is the guy still running, or is he underneath?
You basically see him, he's got a good, 20-30 meters head start on you. And he is pretty damn fast.
I would like to cast Stun.
Alright, roll event.
I think that's plus, it's +5. It's 5? Yes.
Is there anywhere high up I can get to?
19.
Well, you could stand on the top of this building, but the problem is this building is now collapsed inwards to a pile of wooden rubble. So
is it fully collapsed, or is it like
it was sort of tilting, and then it's just sort of slowly just beginning to fall in on itself.
Has it just sort of slumped? Is it slumped? Or collapsed?
It's kind of, you've taken this wall away, and it's just slowly just falling that way.
Slumped, right? Okay.
It's Tristan just slowly walking.
It's just a
out.
flesh wound. It's just a flesh wound.
Here's my beer.
Yeah, Tristan with a pint going the Grey Wardens are not paying for this. We are
I've not paid enough for this nonsense.
So yes, you shoot a stun at him. There's a sort of sound as you notice it seems to have hit him in the leg, and he's limping very badly but still running.
How is he running with a stun?
Well, he was 30 meters away, so...
Bloody hell.
I will run as fast as I can to close the distance, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but essentially Vincenzo has somehow, and we'll never know the story of this, how he got the rings on his hand, but there's a small ring on his hand that he twists and basically copies the same spell, and it's like with a pinky finger.
Ooh.
And he shoots off like a stun.
Alright, roll.
That's pretty cool.
He's
Well,
not a
you're-
real magician.
While you're running to catch up, Juniper is going to run, jump onto your shoulders, and try and jump onto the guy.
Okay.
That's probably why I missed, because I rolled at 12.
As you go to charge and you're about to cast, you basically go, and as you get this far, you just feel yourself getting clunked on the back by this charging Saren.
All of this has happened very fast, and Wraith has kind of been left in the dust in the bar, but has noted that Tristan's got his beer.
What, the sawdust?
Yeah,
Presumably.
Tristan's just standing there holding a beer. You're standing next to him. The bar you were in is now just falling in like a very cheap pack of cards, very cheap house of cards. The barman is screaming from under the rubble.
Is he still alive?
Is there anything within
for
one's
now.
reach drink-wise that I could grab at right now? Just something strong.
There's definitely wine on the floor.
Okay.
One or two bottles haven't smashed, but the rest have.
Wraith then kind of gives a very slight shrug to Tristan and grabs a drink and kind of finds a spot to sort of perch in the rubble as this is going on around him.
You're not gonna help the barman?
No. Yeah.
I've heard.
Just watching it all, taking it all in.
I've heard this scream from behind me, so I'm going to sort of pick myself up off the ground, look behind me, and be like, So I'm gonna. I haven't noticed you guys running off after the dude, so I assume you're all still under the rubble. So I'm gonna start lifting up walls. Like, anyone there? No.
Oh, the structural integrity of this building is failing fast.
Lifting up beams.
Roll some awareness.
Trying to-
Let's see how this goes.
I want to see if I can rescue you guys from under there. The fact that you're not there Doesn't matter. I'm trying to rescue.
I mean, you'll rescue the barman at least, so.
Potentially. Depends how well I do on this roll. I haven't had fantastic rolls so far. Awareness is 3. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bad to worse.
You lift up a thing, you see something moving, and you go, ah, rat! There is a sudden scream that's cut very quickly short. There is a very strong smell of blood in the air.
Oh no.
Bloody hell.
Uh-oh.
I really hate how playing this makes me a murderer all the time.
It's not your fault. It's the dice.
I mean, it kind of is.
At this point, hearing some sort of sound of clattering going on in the distance, Wraith turns to Tristan and says, "Is this typical of a Grey Warden's expedition?"
I like to imagine that this is like soundtrack to this is like na 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 na, and like they're having drinks and outside is just abject chaos.
Should I roll dex to see if I land on the guy, by the way?
Yes, in 1 second, yes, but I'll just do that. Wraith and Tristan are just standing there. Tristan's literally just holding his beer, just like...
Tristan's wondering when he needs to step in, but for now he's just like, screw it, they can deal with it.
And the two of you have just watched Graham basically crush a man to death after screaming about rats, and you've just watched your friendly siren cat person basically just take out one of your other people to try and get to this guy. It's going a bit normal.
Yeah.
So yes, let's have a.
It's going, no. It's not going normally. It's going better than normally. Normally they will be dead by now.
It's going better than normally. Someone that wasn't you was the first to die.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
Sorry.
let's do the cat person.
You get a bonus from bouncing off me.
Potentially. As long as they don't roll really badly, they'll probably do all right.
18.
Yep. You bounce off of Vincenzo. You seem to basically manage to almost flip through the air, and you land with a solid bump on top of this guy. Pause first, pinning him down. Actually, let's see. Does he? I'm just going to do a base roll for him. Does he do anything? No. He is pinned down. He is definitely pinned down with that roll.
I stick my tail up in the air and go. Little squeaky noises.
Yeah, I, who am lying face down in the dirt, just do this.
Good old thumbs up.
All right.
Ticket.
So you now have a he's pinned down. He is scrabbling to try and get out, and you notice him. He is trying to reach for his dagger.
Can I steal it?
Yeah.
What do I roll for that?
Call that a knife.
Do you have what's the thievery one for dexterity?
Hold on, knife down. That's my
I
knife.
don't have one anymore. I must have got rid of it. Okay. Just roll dexterity.
Cool.
I left thievery in, but I must have taken that out.
23.
23. Yes.
Nice.
You steal not only his dagger, but you steal his belt.
Schling.
Yep. That's going round my neck.
Yep. So you're basically robbing him as he's lying there, frantically flailing. You're just like taking every little bit that you like that's on his person.
Chris just looking at this going, impressive.
And all you can hear from everyone else can hear is
Juniper taps the side of her nose and winks.
All right. So the rest of you, taking as long as you really need to, catch up with the pinned down man. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna take a rest. Just gonna casually slow down and we've got him. That's fine. No rush now.
Mission accomplished. Job well done.
Gonna sit on top of him.
Well, he's currently pinned down, like he's on his front because he can't spin round or anything. So he's lying basically face down on the floor, frantically flailing.
And
I'm going to take a look at our Grey Warden supervisor and say, now what, boss?
Wait, what happened just before that? I kind of zoned out for a second.
Basically, the cat person has pinned this person down and taken his dagger.
The tongueless
and-
stabber.
Yeah, and Tom is now basically, Grom is now asking you basically, what do you want to do with him?
We need to tie him up.
Oh, convenient. I'm going to take the rope that I have now got around my neck. That was my belt, and tie your hands together.
Okay.
Well, at least he won't get away as easily. I suppose we take him back then.
The question is, do I tie his feet or do I tie his hands?
Tie his hands, please.
Okay, hands.
We
Okay.
don't want to carry him.
You tie
I mean,
his. Anyway.
I could carry him. There's not much to him. Just pick him up by the scruff of his neck. Just like wave
Oh,
him
no, off we
around.
go.
Yep.
Come on, you.
So
are
you.
we going to give him up to the mayor? Are we
I
going to
thought
give
we
him-
were taking him back to the constable.
Yeah, we should take him back to the constable. I
'Cause
don't
he-
want
yeah,
the
'cause-
mayor to do anything to this man.
I mean,
He's one of us. He's one of us, and I point to the tattoo.
Yeah.
that's very true. He's one of us. He was just going out on a walk.
The warden's taking all sorts as well, so...
A very stabby walk.
I'm gonna flake him off my shoulder and grab him like under the arms and just look him in the face and say, "They're gonna hang you. You did a stabbing. And stabbing. Shut up! I'm talking. They're gonna hang you because you did a stabbing. If you want to live, you should probably come with us. Yes, it's a bad idea. You'll probably die eventually. Everyone does. But so what? You'll die honorably on the battlefield. Are you with us? Shake or nod?" I'm gonna shake him a bit more. That is not a shake or a nod. Shake or nod.
He's just.
Just imagine this man like
No,
six
right.
6 inches off the ground, just like being shaken like a puppy.
All right.
If you shake him too much, you might hurt him. Shake him too much.
All right. Sorry for shaking you so much. I'm gonna pop him down on the ground and say, "Come on, we need to at least get you back to constable."
Okay. As you put him down, he's still kind of like.
You have tied him up, right?
Yeah.
He tied his hands
I've tied
behind his
arms.
back.
I mean, he can still run, but so can we.
Yeah, we are kind of like. I suppose he's in the middle of the congregation now. So like.
I've got one hand on his shoulder. It's quite a big hand, you know.
That's like this idea of Grum's walking behind, his hand on the shoulders, whistling casually to himself while walking behind.
I'm
So
going to
buttons.
put his belt on and I'm going to wrap it around me twice so it fits.
All right.
And disappear all the daggers into various holes around my cloak.
I'm still wearing the remains of the window frame as a belt. It's stupid, but
So,
it's,
as you
I
as
needed the rope for something else.
As you begin to
Ruth's
walk
gonna-
back, you see 3 or 4 villagers will come out to look at the broken, shattered, splintered remains of the former inn.
Ruth's gonna pocket a bottle of wine.
I'm gonna say, "It's all right. We caught him. We won't be bothering you no
At
more."
this point, they all look almost and go,
You're welcome, and then I start pushing everyone to move on.
all right.
Oh my God, we're
You
such
sort of gently
assholes.
push them out of the way and start walking, and a couple of them start muttering to themselves. You hear phrases like Grey Warden scum.
Well, I mean, they're not wrong, are they?
No, but we don't offer the dignity of a response to that. We just move on. It's like-
All right.
Juniper is going to totter along behind Cabbage and hold his hand.
Okay.
Oh.
Adorable.
It's like grabby, grabby. And
it's also like I think now the dynamic is just that there are demands being made, and Vincenzo doesn't know how to deal with them, so he just goes along with it. It's like an actual cat, how they would adopt you.
You're
Well,
my
she's a
human.
cat dog
I'm
that plays
definitely
fetch.
allergic. You're my human.
I like the idea that every so often you'll do the thing from was it in Shrek with Puss in Boots?
Yeah.
Where it does the wide eye things, and all the like soldiers are like, oh, and then you get
Kind of
claws
what I
out.
had in mind.
And then you just stab them.
Because that's what you're like. You give me little puppy eyes and then you bite me. And then you give me a lick. So I can't even be angry.
She's just telling you that you're tasty.
I stuck a picture of her in the pet pictures while we were recording. She was rolled over with her teeth out.
Adorable.
Gotta show you my fangs, Mom. Gotta show you my fangs.
Trying to work out which cat is asleep on my leg. It's that one. Right, okay. So what do you want to do now? Do you want to go straight back to the village you were at? Do you want to go the other way? Do you want to go look in the forest? What do you want to do?
I think
Any
like
more beer anywhere?
We could.
You basically
Could-
you look around. You find a couple of very you basically just find a couple of beers just sort of like a small keg just lying around that you're just like, mate, as you walk past, because
Pretty of
no
the
one
Grey
seems to
Warden.
stop you looting at the moment because they're just like, you've just destroyed our inn.
So we can either
You can
we
either
could
go.
should we go
You can go the other
grab
road.
the corpse?
Yeah, you can go along the other
on the other
road, look
way.
at the corpse, and decide if you want to carry on that road or not, or you can go back and look in the forest, or you can go back to the village and ignore it all. It's up to you.
We should probably at least pick up the corpse.
Yeah. Let's just pick up the corpse, check it out for like leads, and then deliver everything back.
this has been like probably 15-20 minutes, so the corpse blood is already like congealed and pulled up in a ugly mess.
Got a
Probably.
bit dark and purpley and clotted.
Yeah.
That's all right.
The wildlife hasn't gotten to it.
That's all right.
Oh yeah, that too.
I was like, shoo.
There be bears.
As you walk over the hill, you do see a massive bear eating the body.
And I immediately do a U-turn.
About
I'm like,
face?
Yeah. No, Ruth's just like, nope. About face. We're not dealing with the bear.
I don't know if this is accurate, but I think I feel like the tug on my hand to go towards it, but then I'm like, no. We're not going that way.
Like puffed up and going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're not dealing with the bear. Not unless we've got a bear trap with us.
Should have asked the Kumami guy.
You still got that, by the way. No. All right, I guess we wander back towards the woods and then
Okay.
decide if we want to go in there or not.
Okay. You wander back towards the
Please.
woods. So do you want to go into the forest at all, or do you want to just go back to the village? What do you want to do?
I thought we were going to pick up the body.
Well, the body's
Yeah, but
being
there's a
eaten by a
bear
bear
there.
at the moment.
It's part of the ecosystem now. We can't move it.
I mean,
I've got a
you can
directive.
try and chase the bear off and get the body if you want.
No.
It has been thoroughly
We
chewed.
show up with one other friend of ours and a hand. This is all that was left. Poor Jimmy.
Fair enough then. We'll just go back to the constable then, I suppose.
Forget the guys in the forest.
Yeah,
so
there's bears. They'll
mission's
get them.
complete.
Mm.
There's bears. All right.
At least we can tell them where they went.
Listen, is the book just full of red right now? Is it just red?
So
notes
just like-
everywhere? Just-
It's like you just have just like two small quills inside it. Go and pull out. Go, oh, that's nice. As soon as you do something, just. Hello again. Yeah.
Willful disregard for public property.
I bet he's not.
Knife.
bet he's not
Manslaughter,
even-
second degree.
I bet he's not even writing that. He's doing like a crossword puzzle or something, or he's like he's playing hang. Yeah, he's just like with himself because he's like, I'm gonna make them think that I'm writing things and I'm actually just playing tic-tac-toe.
when it all started, Tristan was like, "Yes, I will evaluate these people." But after Team 1 and Team 2 went down, it just became like, "Yeah, they're not here for long."
I mean, I'll keep an eye on them. If they survive like a week or two, I'll consider starting an evaluation.
I'll give
Yeah.
them names. I'll
If they
give
get
them
to a
names.
week, then he'll remember their names and maybe train them. Really good.
All right.
This is boot camp.
So
it
you
really
head,
is.
you head back towards the village. As you arrive, you notice a couple of people in the village giving the Orlesian that you brought back a lot of like, oh, we shouldn't have you here looks. And as you walk back to the sort of big hall that the dwarf was in before, you hear, you're back, and you found one. Where are the other three?
Gone.
Well, one's
Four,
dead.
sorry, the other four.
Well, one's dead.
There's
Well,
one of the thieves is being eaten by a bear right now. We thought best not to intervene. The two elves are in the woods somewhere, and they're pretty well hidden.
all right.
We found this one, and I pointed at our new friend. New old friend.
And before he just gonna give a kind of like staring at his feet kind of look, and he goes, "Right, well, we need to decide: should we keep you or should we hand you over? Do you actually want to join the Grey Wardens?"
I'm gonna give him a massive clap on the back and say, "He'll fight for us this one."
Yeah, let's just
And
see.
he just like almost goes flying because I'm just smacking him across the back.
He stumbles and falls face first, and you hear a crunch as he's possibly broken his nose.
Oh, sorry about that, mate. Lifts him up.
Pick him up. His
Dust him
face
off,
is covered in blood.
Ruth just
I
makes
use
hands.
I use my little hanky to start to dab them. You have something else.
Doing that, Juniper's like back at the thing you're dabbing with.
At this
I can't
point, the guy
remember.
he's just swaying back and forth and going. And the dwarf is like, right, okay.
Can we
I'll-
desist from manhandling him so? Otherwise, I'm going to spend magic on healing him all the time.
Well, I mean,
Sorry about that.
he just,
Don't
he
have
just the
strength.
dwarf just leans down towards I don't remember character names. Towards Ruth and goes, "Can you fix his tongue?"
I'm afraid that injury is far too old. I don't do reattachments of the sort. And
Is
I
that
know
Ruth
magic.
or Wraith?
Ruth.
And no magic can restore what's already gone, I'm afraid. So,
Right.
no.
Oh well. Looks like he's just gonna be our new non-talking friend.
Mute Mike.
I get the feeling that's going to earn you a glare. If he can focus enough to glare.
At this,
Which he probably
at this
can't.
point, you go.
Hello?
He's still just like swaying, and you can tell by his eyes he's definitely concussed.
Ruth's going to take him away now and
Keep him away from me.
His nose is literally like that kind of an angle, just completely snapped to one side, and it's like
God.
blood is just pouring down his face.
You just
yeah,
build
Ruth's taking him away now. Like, you've manhandled him enough and tortured this poor man now. I think he's yeah.
I've
come-
shaken
we're
him.
gonna
I've
sit him down.
concussed him. I've broken his nose.
Yeah. Gonna sit him down.
Yeah, I pat Graham on the shoulder and I'm like, now he will not leave because he is your friend.
He'll be too terrified.
Yeah.
We're too terrified because of the, we'll come back.
It's like he's not afraid of me because he knows that I'll torture him. He's afraid of me because he knows I'll try to be his friend. Oh jeez.
Oh,
Sorry. Oh god. I know it's all like pretend and fun and games and stuff. I always end up feeling bad when I do something.
No, Tom. It's
No.
great.
No!
No, Tom. It's great.
I want to be his friend.
It's
I
a
wanna
nice
be his
change
friend.
from Tam Tam, to be honest. It's a good change.
I am pretty sure the tavern owner didn't pass away. He's just resting.
Yeah.
He's just taking a nap.
Needed to get out.
He passed out from the pain and shock, and so he's actually alive. I mean, yeah, he's got a broken, let's say, arm, but he's alive.
Yeah. I like the reverse justification. It's fine. It just happens. A Grey Warden life.
All right. Okay. So at this point, the mayor noble storms in and goes, "Oh, sorry. I see you're back. Have you found these traitors that stabbed my winter?"
Well, we found one, and he's not in the mood for talking right now.
Well, I am in the mood to talk. Where is he? Is he the one that stabbed? Is he the other one? Which one is he?
He is. One of them is being eaten by a bear. The two elves vanished into the woods. Another one escaped, probably the stabber.
At this point,
We've got one of the Orlesians.
He just spins round to the dwarf and goes, "What kind of people are you hiring if they can't even find more than one person of the small group that escaped?" The dwarf just looks and goes, "I don't... They did quite well considering they don't know where they are."
I look at the dwarf and I say, like, does he have any actual authority? I whisper to him, it's like, does he have any actual authority here, or are you in charge?
He's the mayor of this small village, of this small hamlet, not even this area, but he's got big intentions as well.
He shouldn't be a mayor for this place, and he doesn't become him. He doesn't have the proper decorum for it.
So really, he's just a loud man with a very loud mouth who doesn't actually have any importance.
He's a very full of himself Orlesian, yes. And then at this point, you all muttering, and he turns to you and goes, "Are you discussing my character? I was handpicked for this mayor job."
Juniper is going to pull the most innocent face possible.
It's time.
It's time.
And I'll say, I'm gonna say, well, we aren't discussing your character. We're discussing how much you're a knob.
And while
She's got the roof will laugh.
and as all this is happening, and he's very confused on how to respond, I walk him out the door saying, "Yes, you are a very good mayor. You are just the best mayor ever." In the night.
And they lead him out the door, yeah.
And then just like slowly go, "You're the best mayor ever," and then click. It's like...
So as you're sort of pushing him out the door, he just turns around to the dwarf one last time and goes, "And what of this canary that's out here? He won't move for anyone. He's just sitting there being grumpy."
You'll be grumpy too if your leg was that buggered.
"Ah, you people!" And just storms out and slams the door behind him. And the dwarf just sort of looks at us and goes, "Well, you did well pulling one back, and did you chase one into a bear?"
No, they got stabbed.
He was. There was a lot of blood around him.
He was dead when the bear found him.
He was probably dead when the bear found him. There was a lot of blood.
I see.
You'd hope he'd be dead before the bear found him.
Kind of do.
I see. Right, okay. Well, I guess the rest of your day is your own, and we'll take this up tomorrow. Then he sort of gestures to a side room that's got a couple of beds in it, and goes, "Aye, well, sort yourselves out, and tomorrow we will start your training properly. As for what we're doing, I'll have a wee look around and see what's actually been needed."
I can see that hand slowly rising.
The hand is rising.
I'm worried.
And he's like, "Excuse me, I still haven't had dinner."
Oh, right. I'll get on to it. I'll get it for you. What is it? Have you got a menu in mind or something?
Local cuisine is fine. I love exploring new places.
I see. Alright, okay.
I'm gonna clump over to the bedroom and carefully open the door this time, and just sort of give a little sigh because none of the beds are big enough. They're never big enough. I'm just too tall for a good.
You gotta tuck your knees in.
No.
So I'm just gonna sigh and resign myself to like a pile of clothes.
I'm sure there's like
always
a
do.
couch, like a big massive couch or something.
Or just
could
curl up
probably
in a
find-
fetal position.
Cry. No one makes beds for people my size.
I just have this image of Grum going round lots of the beds, just taking the blankets off and making a pile on the floor.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the room as well.
Not all of them, but like, you know, I'm taking
Most
a few,
of them.
some clothes here and a sheet there, and you know, just making enough
Friend's
for
pillow fort.
a little bit of a pile. Maybe some hay to put underneath it all.
All right.
Ruth's gonna wash his face and wash his hands, and then find a bed in the furthest corner, in the darkest corner, and go to sleep. He's like, I'm having a nap. I need to sleep now.
I need to put my my window frame. I need to hang that up somewhere as well.
Just one nail in the wall, just hanging this massive swinging window. Yep.
Oh, grim.
Wraith
Tristan's had
has
enough
done-
Oh, sorry. Let's go with back first. Sorry.
Sorry. At this point, Tristan's had enough to drink that he's probably gonna hit on Ruth.
Ruth's just like, I'm sorry, what?
I just want to sleep.
We haven't had your supper yet.
Yeah.
I was in a dungeon, and now we went on a walk in the woods, and I know I'm Dalish, but fuck it, I hate the woods. And now we're in a nice warm and dry place, and I want to sleep, damn it!
We'll wake you up when dinner comes. You have dinner. Can't go to bed like without dinner.
Yes.
You
it's
can't
cold.
sleep unless your stomach is full.
Yeah.
Right, and Eden.
So, Wraith happens to have a similar routine to Ruth, it turns out, in terms of like getting ready for the evening and what have you. We have a lot of in common, it turns out, in terms of our skill sets and what have you. So, as we were both kind of getting ready for bed and going for a wash and stuff, that's where your little interaction with Tristan happened, and Wraith quickly snuck into the bathroom and kind of like took a big step past you and gave a look, caught in locked eyes, and caught you in that moment, and just went straight past and stole the bathroom off of you.
Oh,
Clear.
Oh, shots fired. Shots
So we have
fired.
professional rivalry going.
Ruth is thrown A by the flirting because he's so confused, and B, like he's seen the, like, he's caught the Vince eye, and like he's obviously gotten into the bathroom before, and he's just like, you son of a, god damn it, Vince.
Slave trade.
But it's too trapped in the moment with Tristan to be like, can't to do anything about it. So it's like, god damn it.
And Wraith takes his good sweet time humming a deep kind of like choir, kind of like it's a hymnal kind of thing that he's like in ritual, and makes it known as like like there's a sound like you can tell he's deep in process. You shouldn't interrupt this.
Biology
Yeah.
panic.
All right.
he's using up all the hot water and all.
100%.
I mean, he's been in a cage for maybe 3 days. He needs.
Gotta clean my robes.
All right. Well, that's basically we'll wrap up for episode 1 because it'll be a bit shorter for this one, just so you all get used to the style, and we had to get rid of some of the bugs because we're terrible at this. But yes, that will be for episode 1. We'll be doing these every Sunday. I will try and make them a little longer, so they're between. I'll try and make them another half an hour on what we're at in the moment, because we're just shy of 2 hours at the moment. I'll try and make them between about 2 and 2.5 hours in the future. This week I only had like one or two little things and just see where you went with it. But now I kind of know the way you go with it. That should be fine with that. So does anyone have anything they wish to say their character does or is doing before we assume you have food, you wind up for the night, you go and sleep, and then we'll take it from that next week. So does anyone have anything else to wish to add?
I'm trying to think how to get out of that bathroom without having a fight.
I would be writing in my diary going, "Dear diary, today was the best adventure ever. I found a small waif who is very hairy and insists on following me around everywhere. There is also a large man who likes to do interior decorating sometimes.
It's true.
There is also
Where's
we,
the
we
lie?
we have a wonderful supervisor who enjoys a drink.
Did Vincenzo work as a diplomat at any point? Because this is sounding like you are really treading a line in terms of describing this stuff.
Yeah. So the way it's working is like he is essentially out for adventure. The family fortune is all gone, but he figured like if he could write a really killer book, it would be up and up for him. So he is taking all of this in an incredibly positive way. He's like, this is not dangerous at all. This is amazing.
Lore
If I
wise,
die, I die. But if I don't,
there is
a lot of money.
Shiraz, there is a character in the lore called Varric who is a prolific author and well known in the second game. He's from the second and third game.
Is he the dwarf?
And
with the...
he is a dwarf. Yeah, he's the dwarf with the chest hair and the crossbow. Yeah.
Biggest fan right here.
He's your inspiration.
Exactly. He could be your character's inspiration for your memoirs.
Did Varric actually get anything? Oh, no, sorry, I need to go stress.
I was just gonna say the last thing is like there was a very nice daily chef who managed to put all the blood back inside me. Also, like he doesn't know what Juniper is, so he just thinks it's like a small child who's very hairy.
I was gonna say, Juniper is gonna finally pull off the giant fucking robe, and yes, tiny little cat person wearing nothing but belts full of little pouches of knives. And she's gonna spend like a good 10 minutes taking off like 15 belts with knives into a big heap on the floor, curl up in a little ball and fall asleep.
I will notice the tail and cross out the child and say like question mark.
Yeah.
It's
like
we're all just going to be staring at you going, what the actual fuck?
None of you are really used to Siren or cat people, basically.
Yeah.
They are very rare in this part of
I
the
am
world.
assuming it's some kind of like
Curse.
experiment gone wrong or something. Like one of those big smart brain wizard people has like try and squashed a cat and a person together.
Also, you notice the handkerchief you were using before is now in one of those pouches, half poking out.
A gentleman never runs out of handkerchiefs. I have
many handkerchiefs.
That's why the family fortune went out. We invested heavily in monogrammed handkerchiefs. It was a bad investment, but Papa didn't have very good business sense.
Oh my god. I love this character so much. I love your character so much. He's amazing.
I think I like all of them.
I love all of them. Honestly, like I feel like I'm just gonna be comic relief, and I'm okay with that. if I die, don't build a monument to me. Just keep writing my book.
Don't jinx it so soon.
In my body.
We've only just started. We could all die in the next episode.
Oh.
It's the way of the dice. You could lose limbs. You could use your head.
I don't mind losing limbs. Death is like, but I've invested so much time and energy into building up this character, and it's all
I think
gone.
you are the least likely to die.
In everyday life,
I am touching wood, even though I'm not superstitious.
in everyday life, I would be, but when you have a
Okay, so
random
don't
1 in
again.
20 chance of just
Ow.
dying at the drop of a hat.
Pete, do you know the tally for how many characters Bellary went through for Plummet off the top of your
I
head?
think it was something like 8 characters in 20 episodes or 30 episodes or something like that. It was
8
something like
characters
that.
in 20
Bellary,
episodes.
he had like, in Plummet, he had one that lived for 5 episodes then died, and then he had one that lived for 2 episodes, then he gave up on it because he didn't think he wanted to play it anymore, and then he did one for a single episode. Then he had his singing bard, the sort of beat poet that got killed by being crushed by a falling cliff. Then, I'm trying to remember his other ones. But yeah, a lot of his other ones were just like, they'd survive for a couple of episodes and then they'd die. So I think his longest ones were like Tyke and Human, which I think was... I think Human was the longest at like 8 episodes, but my god, the amount of damage Human caused everyone else.
Yeah, there was one episode where he had made a new character, and that character had died in that episode.
Yeah, he did start an episode as Human. Human got killed. He started another one which was Kareen the Elongated, which I loved. I was looking forward to everything, and then Kareen died the same episode.
Yeah. I remember that name and being like, yes.
It was so funny.
Yep. All right.
That happened in 2115 too.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
crab people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crab people. Yeah.
So yes, we
Wilford
will-
and Anatoly.
Oh, Anatoly.
But, you know,
Everyone loves Anatoly.
You could lose a character anytime, so
Yeah, I kind of like having the the insta kill, basically not insta kill mechanic, but the kind of like that you can just misroll and just be instantly dead on just weirdest things, because I do believe that it gives slightly more sense of heroism. But yes,
I'm going to heroically cut this slice of pie. Oh no, my arm!
stakes.
Oh no, my leg!
It's
Oh, I'm
13
dead.
characters and Plummet was Belry. I've just been told by Dragon in chat. All right. Well, as I said, that'll wind us up for today. Who's on? Oh, Stu's on. We're rolling. Stu's just doing a puzzle game. So just so yeah. Thank you very much, folks, for watching along tonight. We'll be doing these every Sunday from about 2:30 GMT. I'm going to try and make them last till about 5:30 GMT. Some might be this week might be a bit 2-hour mark. Some might be a bit longer. Might be the 3-hour mark. But I'll try and do it more comfortably between the 2 and 3-hour mark than just into the 2-hour mark. But yes, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy what we do, chuck us follows and stuff like that. Always really helps us out. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy what we've got coming in this, because it's already been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to running future weeks when I actually can bite deep into some of the weirdest stuff. So yes, we will just quickly, as I said, raid over to Stu. So yeah, hopefully catch you all next week for more silliness. And I think, as far as I'm aware, Mr. Greg's doing Velastine tomorrow. So if you want to do that, that's there as well. Also, I will have the plus-minus dice stuff sorted for next week. I realised I forgot to turn it on for this one now. So I will have it all sorted hopefully for next week. So you'll be able to influence more rolls. Anyway, so that's enough from me. Thank you very much, folks. You all take care. Have a great rest of the weekend. And we'll see you next time. Let's go see Mr. Stu.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.